Game 3 is where it started to unravel for the Washington Capitals. There have been 3. I just want to get it out of the way that Craig Smith had the Oats overtime winner, and I've always been right about him. Just want to get that out of the way that Craig Smith is great. Also, watching this series is, the past couple of years, I think we've all kind of thought, okay, maybe Brad Marchand has settled down a bit, and he's back to, he's just a good star player, scoring, plays hard. He's really turned into a rat again.
It's the playoffs.
It's this environment, you know what I mean? It's just like what we said, the physicality of everything, of all these confrontations that's going on between these players, that like the way you see the way Anthony Mantha reacts or what he's done, like of course someone like Brad Marchand's going to feed off of that.
Especially, and Mantha got a fine for that, didn't he?
Yeah.
What a weird
goaltender.
The Caps have just seemed to have lost it. I thought Samsonov was great in Game 3, by the way. Completely screwed the pooch on the Craig Smith goal, though. Yeah. Ovechkin looked like he was going to eat him, by the way. But then in Game 4, I mean, the Caps had all the power play chances in the world. They couldn't convert on any of them. I think it's Samsonov. I've been told both.
I know.
He was good he was good in that game as well. But then as the game went on, I felt like eventually in that scenario, you just needed a save. The frustration was really building for Washington. And then that Orlov penalty, first off, it wasn't a hit to the head, but he changed direction. He left his feet. And you know how there were those hits where everyone says, oh, they left their feet, when it's just the force of them delivering the hit. He left his feet, physically.
Yeah.
And he hospitalized the dude. And he didn't get a suspension. What is going on? And, oh, my God. And beside that, the Caps are fighting for their lives today. I'm so disappointed in this team. I thought they were going to come out and not destroy the Bruins, but if there's a team you expect to really punish you once they get to the power play, it's Washington. And Backstrom hasn't scored, Kuznetsov hasn't scored. It's a mess with them. It's a real mess.
I'm very curious as to what has changed, because if you I think there's people who would argue, if you watch Game 1 and Game 2, that Washington deserved to win those games. Obviously they did it, but it just seems the last 2 games has not been great for Washington. Mm-hmm. I can imagine that Samsonov goal that must have demoralized. It has to have demoralized at least Samsonov, and that probably rolled into the next game. Mm-hmm. But still, it's as if, we talked about Brad Marchand being a rat again. It's as if he is getting into every single one of their heads.
I believe the term you're looking for is rent-free.
Yeah, but it's only cool. That was only cool in 2018.
Yeah. What I kind of felt too is I've mentioned this before in my preview, that for Washington to have a chance, they're gonna have to rally again as a unit, because ever since that cup win, they've gone through quite a few things where they didn't look like they really tried in the playoffs last year, that they had that quote unquote party or so at the hotel that they didn't feel like winning. And then this year with the whole COVID thing with Ovechkin and the other Russian players, that I think it was time for them to kind of show that, no, we're a mature team and we have what it takes to keep on going. I think that they have gotten better from what people kind of speculated, but it's just not quite there. And I think, again, the Bruins are working more as a unit to really fight off what the Capitals have been given, the power plays, the shots, the opportunities.
There's also and Alex, you kind of talked about it there with the being demoralized. They're making a lot of mental errors. The Game 2 winner, the Brendan Dillon crappy clear, was bad. Again, Samsonov we mentioned. It's just not in the character of the Washington Capitals or what we believe they are. I'm not saying that this is it for the Capitals. Let's just focus on getting Ovi past Wayne at this point in the regular season. I'm not saying that at all, and I don't think they're done. I mean, the series, at the end of the day, you're going to look back at this series and you're going to think, 3 of them went to overtime. You know what's funny? It's funny it's Taylor Hall because I think people mentioned before he was in a series and he was either playing for Windsor or against them, and it was a 5-game series and all but one or all of the games that went to overtime. Man, that guy. And by the way, he's been good.
Yeah.
I hate Boston. Bergeron's been great. Krejci's been great. Mike Riley's been good. Tuukka Rask is still great. I need to stop counting them out. I need to stop it.
I wonder how many people in Boston are walking back their comments on Tuukka Rask.
Oh no,
there's nothing.
You'll have a 9-27 at the end of the playoffs, losing Game 7, and they'll still say he needs to